On the menu today, we're making a Marco Pierre White Dessert. I haven't made one of those yet. Would you look out? Falling lemons. With lemons.
Come here. What the is this shit?
Hello again. Welcome back to my home, everybody. Welcome back to your home. Just for a little bit. All right. Cooking out of this one. Marco Pierre White's White Heat cookbook again. This is gonna be my 5th attempt at making something out of this book. I'm gonna aim for 6 right now. And I'm looking at this one today as like the calm before the storm. Now I was thinking this, is there anything in this cookbook that someone would actually want to make at home that, you know, is not too challenging, is practical, fewer ingredients, but still represents Marco Pierre White? It has to be sweet too, because I want to make something sweet. There it is, it's a lemon tart. 2 words, lemon tart. There's no mystery there. Any chef worthy of the name has a lemon tart on his menu. Or her menu, of course, right? I said that last episode and it bothered a few people. Just a couple, but why? We cook one twice a day, in the morning just before lunch service and at 7 p.m. just before the dinner service, so it's always fresh and fragrant. Great, no further questions. Let's get to work. Okay, so let's start off with a vanilla bean. Can't even show this to you without addressing the elephant in the room, or the vanilla bean in the room. Yes, at one point in time, I didn't even know what this was. It's a legacy moment on this channel, and let's just cut to the flashback now, get it out of the way. Once you split it in half, there is no seeds in here. Where are the seeds? There's none. Like, it's... Oh, it's all on my fingers. I guess those are the vanilla seeds. It's hard to be sure if they've all been removed. There were so many little ones. Maybe I should just wipe it with a cloth or something. They appear to be seedless now. That's great. Combine the heavy cream and the vanilla bean seeds. What a time to be alive. Anyway, I know what to do now. I'm gonna split it in half lengthwise. You know, you just split it open and scrape out the seeds. You keep them, and there they are there on my fingers, but I'm gonna this time hold on to them. All right, leave no seed behind. See, they're all there, I promise. So can I have a bowl? Thank you. I was gonna say I need the big one. So 4½ cups, 540 grams of all-purpose flour. ½ cup, 50 grams of confectioner's sugar. Icing sugar. I pre-sifted that icing sugar, by the way, because I didn't want to worry about it right now. So I'm just gonna mix that all together. Did I ever mention what we're doing? No. We're making a tart shell, the pastry. Here's 1 cup of butter, 227 grams. It's chilled, it's diced, it's 8 ounces, whatever information you need, that's all you need. In it goes, into the flour. So there's all a way of making pastry dough. You don't want to overwork the dough. You want it to have cracks and craggy looking. And here's the thing, this past year, I haven't been making good pastry dough. In fact, it hasn't been not too good. And I've just been overworking it. And I used to be able to do it with my hands, no problem. And then I introduced the food processor, and then that just got to my head. So I have a new thing. It's called a pastry cutter, and it's gonna help me blend the butter into the flour. I don't know, I've never used this before, so let's try it out. So work the flour into the butter. I want all that flour to be coating. Is this thing working? I think so. I think it's working great, actually. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I love that thing. This thing is great. I love this thing. Make a well with the flour. Add those vanilla seeds into the well. Can you see the vanilla seeds in there? Yeah, you can. Cool. Great. Grating up the zest of 1 lemon with the microplane on top of the lemon. That way I'm grating up what I need to. I'm in control. I'm covering more surface area and none of that white pith. And lemon zest into the well. 1½ eggs. Yes, that's right. So I have the 50-gram egg here. Let's make that 25 grams to split the first egg. Perfecto. All right, so I got... Beat together 1.5 eggs. Add that into the well with the other stuff. Knead it with your fingers, but don't knead it too much. It needs to look a specific way. Mark my words, I am not over kneading this dough today. And I'm only using my fingertips for this. So Marco just assumes that you can make this thing because he's going into no detail in the recipe. That's cool, because I like the results of that. So once I can kind of form that into a rough looking thing, all right, I'm gonna chill that for half an hour. Half an hour's gone by with this dough and I have noticed that it is fairly crumbly. I'm getting kind of worried. But there's been no water added to this dough. He has no mention of water. Was I supposed to assume you add water? Water, 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 no water. All right, I'm gonna flour up the surface. I'm gonna continue with this dough, although I am a bit on dough watch at the moment. I really hope this comes back together. Come on, dough, be good to me. Usually you add like ice cold water to the dough, just to like some of it, just to bind it together, but this hasn't been, is he assuming I should be adding that? The only liquids in here are the eggs. Is that normal? Definitely doesn't need any more flour. This is not gonna work. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Now I have some ice cold water, and I think that this dough is way too crumbly. It's a damn shame because I followed the steps exactly, but there's something going on with this recipe. I'm gonna spritz it with some of this iced water. Okay, this is a rescue mission all of a sudden. But I think it's chilled enough still that I can roll it out. It seems to be sticking together now. I have a feeling this dough was just very thirsty. It needed some H2O, water. I don't know why I said. But now I can roll it. I think just a little more, but on this side. Yeah. It'd be an odd thing to leave it out of the recipe, but I've seen weird things come into this. So I tried it once, I didn't like what it looked like, so I added a little water, I put it back in the fridge for like another hour. I've brought it back out, and it's still looking not great. And I don't want to redo this dough because there's so many vanilla bean seeds in here, and it's expensive. But this seems to be working. It's a bit of a hack. That should work, right? All right, I'm gonna need some sort of tart pan, and it needs to be greased. No funny business. I said no funny business. All right, Sue. It's one of those. Very gently. Dough. This is the best I can do with this pie dough right now. Got it in there as best as I can, but I don't really have any faith with what's going on over here. I want this dough to be higher than the edge, about 1/2 inch. Okay, I've tried to pretty that up as much as I can. I hope everyone's okay, of course. I hope I'm okay over here. Let's reuse some of that parchment paper. I got raw chickpeas, pie weight. I don't know, just leave it in the freezer for a bit, but things ain't looking good. Be good, please be good. I'm gonna blind bake that for like 10 minutes, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I'm gonna... So removing that pie weight now, and that pie weight should have given it a little shape. It did, cool. Yeah, we lost a little aside there, but that's okay, it's okay. So I'm gonna keep this going another 10 minutes. I'll take that. Okay, coming in hot. Let me explain why the pie weight is still on here. It's because the base was starting to rise. Ooh, chickpeas, yum. The base was starting to rise in that last 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, well, I gotta get that back down. So I just put that right there, and just everything is cool. Now I shall trim the overhang of the tart. I gotta get this out. I had to because this is gonna burn in the oven, and that was the only way I could grab that. You see? Now I gotta just do it one more time. Okay. This goes back in for another 10 minutes. Let's start with our lemon filling. 9 eggs. All right, so I need a total of 5 lemons, the zest from 2 of them, the juice of all 5. And get that in with the eggs. 1 3/4 cup, 375 grams of superfine sugar. Bring over the granny. Juice these lemons. So I know I'm being a bit of a cowboy here, squeezing the lemon juice directly into the bowl rather than some separate vessel, then into the bowl. Make sure there's no lemon seeds going in there, but I'm being careful. I caught one. Okay, I'll do exactly that. And the rest of the lemon juice. Just give it a stir. Here's 1 cup of heavy cream. I'm just folding this in. Then fold in 1 cup of heavy cream. It just says to fold it in. So just keep using things because you have them. Just fold it in. Perfect timing. All right, here comes the pie shell. That looks nice. That looks really nice. Okay, we think we may have dodged a bullet here. Okay. So pour the cold filling into the hot pastry. This ensures that the pastry shell will be sealed and hold the filling. I don't want to go too high, right? Because in this photo, he's got a bit of an edge. Just slightly more. Don't go too high. Okay, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. You added a little too much. Because I can see it going over the edge a bit. Don't do that ever again, man. I feel like with all this leftover lemon filling, I could make another 2 tarts. I would like to build some sort of like dam here to hold the lemon filling because it's just this one area that is just a bit too low. Okay, I made a bit of a dam so I can add maybe a couple more spoonfuls. Cool. All right, so I turned the oven down to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm gonna bake this for half an hour. Feels weird to say, but that's pretty much it. All right, this is after half an hour, but I don't think it's done. Yeah, that's not done. It's been another 8.5. And tell me good news, this is still not done. It's still, come on. I've been baking that pie. It's not pie. I've been baking that tart for now 43 minutes. Marco said 30 minutes. But it's not close to being done. When I move the pie pan, when I move the tart pan, you can see ripples in the filling. Like in this, that ain't done. All right, Marco said 30 minutes. That took an hour. And still, I'm like, yeah, it's gotta be done by now. So I've been watching, I've been poking into this area here just to make sure. I'm not really worried about what I've done to the center of that cake because I'm gonna cover it up with icing sugar anyway. There's no advice coming from the recipe, so you're on your own, kid. I'm gonna turn the oven off completely and I'm gonna keep the tart in here with the door ajar. Julia taught me that. I'm just gonna leave that there until it's cooled. Okay, so we're nearly ready to serve this sucker, so I had to heat it back up again because Marco wants me to serve it hot. Sift some icing sugar on top. Just cover up that hole in the center that you made and keep going. I do want to replicate what he's got going on, and that looks like quite a bit of icing sugar there. Okay, stop. Got the broiler on hot. This is gonna go under there. I want this to be a nice brown on top, matching to the photo, so I'm gonna push this as far as I can. Here, let me help with the blowtorch. I think that's it. Order up! It's like creme brulee. Look how beautiful that is. Never mind the Band-Aid. I did cut myself when I was grating up the lemons. That was the most amazing thing I've had since, I don't know, probably last week. But one of the best desserts I've ever made, for sure, I think. I don't know, it's hard to keep track, but I think there's 3 beautiful little things going on with this tart. Firstly, start at the bottom with that crust, flaky and buttery and vanilla. Chocked full of vanilla. Chocked full of vanilla? Yeah, let's go with that. That's smooth filling, kind of custard-like, with a very sharp lemon flavor. Beautiful. And then the secret weapon, I think, was the caramelized sugar on top. Again, beautiful. Gorgeous, even. Because what that all did together was create 3 different textures: the flakiness, the smoothness, and then the crunch on top. The only gripe I have is in my department. The ratios are off. It needs way more filling. It's probably why he had me make way more filling. It's just too thick in the crust department. And then I think I needed a deeper tart pan. Also, look at how flaky this crust was. Look at that. I should mention one more thing, and that's regarding Marco's recipe here, because it is not the easiest recipe to follow. He leaves a lot of things out. Just from my experience making pie doughs and whatnot, that you add water or vodka into it. So I feel like he left that part out. Maybe intentionally, maybe just assumed that I would know. I don't know. I feel like this could be a very easy recipe if he just provided a little more information, because the bake time was off too. He said 30 minutes to bake it. Mine took an hour, so double the amount of time. The thing is that his tart has even more filling in it, so he would have had to bake it longer than mine. But you can just learn from all my mistakes and make a wonderful lemon tart. That's it. That's all. This was Jamie and Marco. Bon appetit. Au revoir.
Come here, come here, come here, come here. What the is this shit?